Greetings and welcome to another video. It's Sunday, 27th of June 2021, and as you can see, we're back in Maidly today, and we're at the same spot where we started yesterday's video, at this little notice board with local information from Maidly Town Council. And we've also got, as we saw yesterday, a map of Maidly Town, which is, to be honest, I really appreciate that. So yeah. And as you can see around us, we're in Maidly Town Centre at the moment. We've got the main bus stops right here in front of us, which, depending on what bus you're taking from here, can take you anywhere from Madeley to Telford Town Centre, and all the way down to Montgomery and Wellington from here, depending on what bus you're taking. And they've got public toilets right there. So yeah. And you got M&G Household and Fancy Goods right in front of us. And yeah. So, as you know, if you saw yesterday's video, we explored down those set of steps, trying to look for Maidly Conservation Area. And we also found yesterday St. Michael's Church, which I've made a previous video about a few months ago. So yeah, St. Michael's Church and Maidly Conservation Area was the whole point of yesterday's video, going down in that direction. But we're not going to be going that way today. Instead, we're going right in front of us, because there's something only a few yards in front of us which I want to have a look at and make a video about today. So yeah, let's carry on and have a look. So right here to my left is the Maidly Cooperative Funeral Care. To my right is the Vicar Housing Trust. And if we look just over here, we've got Barnadoes. So yeah, like I say, we're just heading a few yards in front of us. So we're here, and to our left is obviously the Tesco supermarket, Domino's Pizza, And down that way we've also got a Greggs, the 7 Hospice charity shop, and a local pharmacy. In front of us is the Anstis Memorial. We'll probably have a closer look at that in a few minutes. And obviously, as you can see from here, you can find your way to the public library and post office, which is over there. We've got Russell Green and War Memorial. Over that way. We've got the Maidly Conservation Area, which we tried to look for yesterday, in yesterday's video. And as you can see, Maidly Town Council and public toilets and bus stops are over there where we just came from. But right now, where we want to go is just in front of us, right there. So yeah, just a couple of yards in front of us. Let's have a look. Here we are, a sign by Maidly Town Council talking about Maidly's heritage. So this is going to be really interesting to look at. Let's have a read. During the 18th and 19th centuries, Maidly became a cauldron of economic activity. It grew from a small agricultural adult population of around 450 in 1676 to around 9,500 in the 1850s. By this time, the 2 major employers in the area were Maidly Wood Company, who had moved to a canal-side location at Bliss Hill, and Maidly Court Company, who had built 3 blast furnaces near the newly opened mines on the Maidly Court estate. It was an earlier Maidly Court resident, Sir Basil Brooke, who had sown the seeds for the industrial expansion. At Coalbrookdale, he developed a network of water-powered forges and built the first English steel furnaces nearly 100 years before Abraham Darby I arrived in 1709. The Brooke family lived in Maidly Court for about 150 years, during which time they extensively remodelled the house, adding new wings, the magnificent gatehouse and walled gardens. However, in 1828, when the estate was bought by James Foster, the Stourbridge ironmaster, the surrounding land was extensively mined for coal and ironstone, and the house declined rapidly, with spoil mounds surrounding the house and covering the fish ponds. It was restored as a luxury hotel in the 1980s. The Maidly Court Ironworks closed around 1902. In 1912, they were taken over by Thomas Parker and his son, who established the Court Works Limited, a foundry that made iron castings for cars and the electrical industry. Thomas Parker was an inventive genius who gave us electric lighting for streets and homes, brought us electrically powered public transport such as Blackpool and Birmingham trams, and invented coal light, a smokeless fuel. And as you can see, we've got images of Maidly Court Ironworks, Sir Basil Brook, the Stephenson Medal awarded to the Thomas Parker Institute. The Stephenson Medal, awarded to Thomas Parker by the Institute of Civil Engineers. John Fletcher and Mary Fletcher. St. Michael's Church, which we talked about in yesterday's video. More information can be found at www.maidleytowncouncil.gov.uk. By 1850, Bliss Hill had become a major industrial complex with brick and tile works, blast furnaces and coal, iron and fine fireclay mines. Goods were taken via tramways onto the Shropshire Canal, which had been completed in 1792. Using the hay-inclined plane, tugboats on cradles were lifted some 207 feet, or 63 metres, up and down to Coalport using a combination of steam power and gravity. However, by 1857, the Coalport Branch Railway Company, later LNWR, bought the decaying Shropshire Canal and replaced it with the Coalport Railway branch line from Hadley Junction, which opened for freight in 1860 and for passengers in 1861. Only a small section of the canal remained in use, servicing the furnaces at Bliss Hill. At this time, Bliss Hill was owned by the Anstis family. It was managed by John Anstis, a local benefactor well respected by his workers. The Anstis Memorial Institute was a building in his memory in 1868 and 1869. Bliss Hill Ironworks closed in 1912, and Maidly Wood Company became simply a colliery operator with its main pits at Halesfield and Kemberton. Upon nationalisation in 1947, both pits were merged to form NCB's Maidly Wood Colliery. It closed in 1967. The Bliss Hill Brickworks were also taken over in 1912 by William Legg, a major brick and tile maker in the area who lived at Upper House. However, his company was liquidated in 1938 following a protracted legal dispute. By the 1950s, Bliss Hill had closed down and the site was abandoned. However, it was given a new lease of life in 1973 when it was set up by the Ironbridge Gorge Museum Trust as an open-air museum, now called the Bliss Hill Victorian Town. Religion also played an important part in the history of Maidly. John Fletcher, Vicar of St. Michael's until his death in 1785, was a great theologian and founding father of Methodism. His work was carried on by his wife Mary Fletcher and her companions Sarah Lawrence and Mary Tooth. They are all buried in a fine cast iron tomb in the graveyard at St. Michael's Church, designed by Thomas Telford and completed after Fletcher's death in 1796. And here we are, we've got a picture of John Anstis and on the Coalport branch line. Telford and Wrekin Council, Maidly Town Council, images supplied by Ironbridge Gorge Museums Trust, funded by Maidly Town Council and Telford and Wrekin Council, artwork by MA Creative. So yeah, that's some really fascinating in local history about Maidly. So I am really glad I took the time to make this video today talking about that. So what we're going to do now is have a look over here and see where it takes us. As you can see, we've got the post office in front of us. If you come this way, got the local newsagents, Betfred gambling store, all sorts of wool and fabric. But we're just gonna walk a few yards in front of us and look at the local war memorial. So a few seconds ago we were just standing over there, and if we look over here, in memory of Joe Owen, 1910 to 1983, from his friends. And right there is a Maidly War Memorial. To the glorious memory of those Maidly men who gave their lives in the Great Wars, 1914 to 1919 and 1939 to 1945. Major Charles Yates, the King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry, 26th August 1914. Planted by Ironbridge and Severn Gorge Lions Club, we serve. Their name liveth forevermore. So we're now back here at the Maidly Town Council heritage sign that we were at a few minutes ago. And if we look to our right from here, there you can find the Anstis Memorial. And from what I understand, there's a cafe located inside, which you can access obviously when the building is open. And also you've got Maidly Library at the Anstis. As advertised on the windows here. And also Anstis Memorial Hall signpost with various posters about local information and local events happening here. So yeah, it's really good this is going on. And if you're interested about what's going on at the Anstis Memorial Hall, always check this signpost or ask inside for the latest information. Good times. So we're now back here where we started today's video, and what we're going to do now is have a walk in that direction and see what we discover in the process. So yeah, let's carry on. So as you can see, we're at the top of High Street, which goes down in that direction. And at the moment, we're at Jubilee House. So let's see what that blue plaque says. Maidly Town Council, Jubilee House, opened 1870, Market Hall and Arcade, later operated as Jubilee Nut and Press Works up to 1970s, 1997 refurbished as parish offices, Maidly Parish Council. So yeah, there's a lot of local history going on at Jubilee House here, so yeah, it's really good, that is. Maidly Parish Council, MWS Credit Union and Access. Right, so what we're going to do now is walk down High Street, down this road in front of us, and see what else we can find. Here we've got the Maidly Baptist Church, and over there on the church itself is a blue plaque by Maidly Town Trail, which reads Aenon Baptist Chapel Church, opened 1858. Aenon, spelt A-E-N-O-N, is a Greek word meaning spring, and is a place on the River Jordan where John the Baptist was baptized. Maidly Parish Council. So yeah, the Maidly Baptist Church is a very important community centre here in Maidly. So yeah. Let's carry on this way. So in front of us now is St Mary's Catholic Church, which is part of the Diocese of Shrewsbury, mission founded in 1760 and the present church in 1853. Parish weekend times, Saturday vigil 5 p.m. St Mary's and Sunday 9 a.m. at St Paul's Dorley and 11 a.m. St Mary's. So that's the Catholic Church over there, and there's also another important community centre here in Maidly. So yeah, I like church buildings, like traditional church buildings like the one in front of us. But as I've said before in past videos, they've got an amazingly beautiful architecture and artwork behind them. So yeah, I always appreciate church buildings despite not being a religious person myself. But yeah, good time situation. But let's carry on this way. And yeah, good time situation. So what we have here is the Community Health and Enterprise Centre in Maidly. But as you can see also, Maidly Town Trail, Check Centre, formerly Cooper's Arms Public House, closed 1907, upper floor then used as police station, ground floor occupied by bootmakers and hairdresser shop. Maidly Parish Council. So it looks like the Maidly Community Health and Enterprise Centre used to have a really good and interesting history behind this building. So yeah, it's really good this building had a really good history behind it, so I'm proud of that. I'm glad of that. Nice one. Let's carry on down this way. In front of me is the Lumley Hall Centre for Young People, which, if we have a look at something over here to my left, Telford Amateur Boxing Club, Maidly Town Trail, Lumley Hall, Maidly County Courthouse 1858 to 1950, after a variety of youth and social uses, is now home of the Telford Amateur Boxing Club and Maidly Music Project. Maidly Parish Council. That's really good, that is. I'm really glad that this building in Maidly is home to the Telford Amateur Boxing Club and Maidly Music Project. That's good. I like that very much indeed. So yeah. Let's head over there for a moment. Welcome to Impact, Maidly Town Trail, the People's Centre, Mount Zion Primitive Methodist Chapel, 1865 to 1977, later used by community groups as the People's Centre, Maidly Parish Council. And over here we've got another sign. Worship of us at Telford Assemblies of God Church. And yeah. So we're now at the bottom of the high street here in Maidly. And back up that way is everywhere that we've explored in today's video. welcome to Iron Bridge Gorge, despite us being in Maidly at the moment. And what I'm going to do now is finish this video here and have a pint in the Forester's Arms pub in front of me, which, as I said yesterday, is a really good pub here in Maidly. I do like this place. Thank you to everyone who's watched this video, I do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed to my channel on YouTube. Again, thank you, I appreciate yourselves as well. And I'll see you all soon in the next video. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, have a good weekend, and goodbye.